Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of NuStrength Sugar Babes. We've got a sugar babe from Perth, which she lives just outside of Perth. She has 2 children. She works full time. She's married. She might move to Brisbane, but probably not. We were just discussing her husband getting a job offer in sunny Queensland. But I'll stop crapping on, and I'll let you tell the viewers. So, Kat, why did you join the program? So what were the issues that you were having prior to Win at Life, and how are they affecting your life?
I've had a history of chronic fatigue and endometriosis. So endometriosis since I was 15, and then chronic fatigue when I was just before I turned 30. I had a hormone profile that was premenopausal. And so there's been a couple of things that have gotten me to this point. The hormone stuff has kind of really sort of messed my body around in a lot of ways. I've always been into fitness and health and nutrition, and I've done all of the fad diets at one point or another. And at this point now, with everything that's been going on, I think my body's just kind of gone, okay, game over. Don't know what to do now. It's just confused. So for the first time now, my body's just not responsive to anything that I've done in the past, and I've gained pretty much 10 kilos, which is a lot on my frame. I'm only 5'1". So 10 kilos, and it happened in a very short space of time after I had my second endo surgery, and I had an ovary removed. And so I think the whole it's just really upset my body. My body's just kind of gone into a bit of stress response, I think. Reading all of the information that I did before I started the program kind of just really made sense to me. I thought this makes sense. This could work. This might be the key.
Because the endometriosis, is it really what was that like for you? Like every month, was it really painful? And
yeah, extremely. Yeah, I'd kind of mid-cycle, I'd get a lot of ovarian pain. So more than likely like this, and just a lot of ovulation pain. And then with my cycle, I'd had very light cycles, but it was almost a case of the pain was that intense that I'd be sort of just doubled over. I'd be on the floor. I'd be standing 1 minute and on the floor the next. And it kind of felt like I'd been like kicked and punched in my gut. So to have anyone near me, like my kids, I was so guarded at those times because I was just in so much pain. It was a real sort of like physical pain. So the endo kind of it's like when the cells grow in your uterus and outside of your uterus, and it's almost like the cells are bleeding, but the blood's got nowhere to go. And so I guess that kind of then explained the feeling for me that I'd just been punched in the gut, and just like I was constantly like bruised and battered, is that, there's this blood trying to release from my cells, from these endo cells in my body, but it's got nowhere to go. So that was the big part of it. But I had noticed that nutrition was something that played a part in healing or managing the symptoms. So that was kind of like the big draw card for me, was to see how this program affected the symptoms.
And had you tried any other diets to try and improve it previously? Or any
the one thing so when I had my chronic fatigue, and I recovered from the chronic fatigue, and then I had through sort of ovulation stimulation, I was able to have my kids, and I had them very close together. They're 18 months apart. And then from the chronic fatigue, because I'd gained weight from the chronic fatigue, because that's all adrenal related, or cortisol, or stress related, and thyroid. I have hypothyroidism. After my kids, I then saw a doctor who specialised in weight control, and through elliptolic diet. And so it's actually quite similar to, I guess, the foundations of the wall method, in that there's like absolutely no, artificial colors, preservatives, PUFAs. And some of the foods were similar, but there was still things like broccoli, the cruciferous vegetables, the greens and stuff like that. But it was basically just lean proteins, certain fruits and vegetables, and they were based around foods that were known to help cancer, or in terms of, support at a cellular level to prevent against cancer. And it was quite restrictive, but it was very clean and very similar. There's some key differences, but there was a lot of similarity. And when I was when I'd basically healed my body, so I did that for about I did it pretty much. It's quite intense for the first however long it takes you to lose the weight, and then you have to maintain it by, I guess, managing your weight. So that intense period only took me, and I was only 6 or 7 kilos over my normal weight at that point. It took me 8 or 9 weeks to completely lose all my weight, and I was in the best shape that I'd been ever before, but I didn't have any muscle tone. But the symptoms of my endo were completely relieved. And whilst I managed to maintain that diet and lifestyle, but it wasn't practical. It wasn't like you say with all the fad diets, they're not sustainable long term. And this wasn't either. It was pretty much, just eating lean proteins, no oils, no nothing. It's like 5 or 6 different types of fruit, 5 or 6 different types of vegetables. It was 80 grams of protein twice a day.
Yeah.
And 100 grams of fruit and vegetables per day. That's all I was eating.
And how many calories a week? Gee, it sounds low calorie.
I reckon it's about 800.
800 calories a day.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no, you must have been starving.
Well, I just got used to it, I guess. I basically was doing intermittent fasting. So I wouldn't eat until around about 11 o'clock. So I'd have black coffee in the morning, and then I'd have fruit, and then I'd have a protein lunch and a protein dinner. Yeah.
Oh my God, no one. It's just it's totally unsustainable.
Yeah.
You just can't live. It would be unenjoyable too.
Well, that was the thing. It was unenjoyable. That's completely it. It's just no way to live.
Oh, food. And that's, I think, where so many of these diets go wrong. You need to enjoy food. You should enjoy food. Yeah. And it's a part of life.
Yeah. That's been the biggest joy of the program, is just learning to let all of that stuff go, and just enjoy food again.
Well, let's talk about then. So, you've been how long have you been in the program now? 16 weeks?
Yep.
16 weeks. Okay, cool. So what improvements have you seen in all your symptoms?
Definitely sleep has improved, and I didn't have a problem with sleep, but I just feel like I sleep more soundly, and I'm not tired when I wake up. So that's been a big improvement. And my moods are definitely more stable, and with the endo, so obviously I've been taking the Progesti, and for the first time I've had no symptoms with my cycle, and that's just, there was that short time that I had with when I was doing the liptotolic diet, but that was only when I was on that sort of that intense phase of it that I was able to that I was pain free, and so with the Progesti I've gotten back to that pain free,
so good,
which is just phenomenal, because it's been 20 years of painful cycles.
Oh wow! And how many calories are you eating now, roughly?
1,700.
Yes, that's a lot more than 800.
Oh, it's crazy to think that that's what I was living on.
Oh,
so
it's
no
crazy.
wonder I was tired, and
I know.
Stress, stress was a big part of.
Would have killed you. It would have killed you. And what sort of foods are you eating now?
I have pate most days.
Me too.
And sourdough, so good. And like things like orange juice and milk and cheese are things that I restricted, for so many years. I would never dream of having orange juice, or never really dream of having, fruit, or definitely not sugar. So so I'm eating, such a variety of foods that is so enjoyable. It's been amazing.
Oh, it's just so nice to eat real food, I think. Not to, the thing is too, you just binge it. You just end up binging if you restrict like that. Like, you can never sustain it.
Yeah, I think that's been the other biggest thing, is that cravings, food cravings have completely disappeared. I don't want for anything because I'm completely satisfied. I don't crave anything, and I haven't binged on food at all, because I've just had no need to, because I've been receiving such a good balance of all the macros that there's no need to binge on anything. You just don't have those cravings. They don't trigger in your body, and that's been quite interesting. Yeah.
It is amazing too. Like, you think 20 years and it's only been 16 weeks, and you've noticed that like, it takes time for your body to heal, but it's really not, 16 weeks isn't that long really compared to how long you've been, suffering from all the painful symptoms, and it's like actually really just a drop in the water, I think, in terms of time. Like, people go,
I think the human body is just so amazing. It's so responsive when you give it what it needs. I think its ability to heal is just, is phenomenal. It really is amazing, but you've got to give it a chance, don't you?
Oh, totally. And, like, you go through childbirth, that's so stressful in a woman's body, and then all the other things in life that cause stress. And, a lot of women drink, like I used to be a big drinker, and that's something that really, I think anyone who has endometriosis or PCOS needs to, like, cut out the booze, because it just exacerbates those hormonal issues. But I think, like, we just live in such a drinking culture. Like, it's just everyone drinks. So it's like, those are, that's another thing as well. But that's really,
definitely been my biggest. That's been my biggest.
You're normal. You're like most all of us. It took me a long time to stop drinking. I think because if you're a drinker, it's like really ingrained in you just to, I don't know. Like, I would just always have to drink. Whenever I went to things, I couldn't be the one that was no drinking. But it is possible if people are watching this, and you'll feel heaps better too. Like, I think about how drunk I used to get, and how would I even manage now with hangovers like that? Or even if I just have a few drinks now, I feel really crappy. I think it's because you just get so used to feeling so good.
And I think when you're training as well, you know how your body performs, and you feel so amazing when you when you hit those goals, and you feel your body getting stronger. But then when you do drink, you can feel it, you notice it, and it kind of it really it really sort of pulls away from that feeling of achievement and moving forward. When you've had a drink, like, it just, your body feels awful, can't deal with it.
No,
makes such a difference.
And you know what though, I think, like, you're gonna have little slip ups, but I think for me, like, I don't know about you, but other women in the program, it's like, you'll not drink for a while, then you'll have a drink, you're like, oh, okay, now I remember what this feels like, and you'll go off and you won't do it again for a while, and then you'll have another drink. And I think it's like, people, you got to give yourself a bit of grace and remember that you're going to have little slip ups and fallbacks, but they're all just good reminders to teach you, that, and remind you again that you're trying to feel better and that you want to feel better.
Absolutely.
So, no one can be perfect.
Speaking, well, that's right. But speaking of grace, so Annie Grace is the Naked Mind author, and I've been listening to that audio book this last week, and that's been quite amazing so far. So I'd definitely recommend that to anyone who's struggling.
What's it called?
Because
The
Naked Mind.
The Naked Mind. You should post about it in the Facebook page.
Yeah, I think there's been some conversation surrounding it, and Jen Jones had mentioned it to me when we've been chatting. Yeah,
she's awesome.
And and so it's for the first time, like, I had never considered alcohol to be a drug.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it's been a brilliant read. I totally recommend it, because she kind of, I guess, identifies with how we have a desire to drink, and then we go through the psychological trauma of like, do we have a problem? And she just kind of breaks it down and says, no, you're not defective. You don't have a problem. It's a drug. Like your body is responding in the way that it would with cocaine or the way that it would with nicotine. It is actually a drug. So, you know, the constant cycles of hangovers, and it's an amazing read. Just
Oh, do you know what? I'm just going to write it down now. I might have to, I'm just going to write it down. The Naked Mind. Who's the author?
Annie Grace.
Annie Grace. I'll have a listen and add it to the website because I've got to add the Atomic Habits in too, because I think that like so many women, it's like I reckon 80% would probably have drinking. It's not a drinking problem, but we just like me that. And you drink and then you feel shit and then you drink and then like it's like and you can't not drink. Like you think because I mean look, let's be honest, it does feel good to be drunk. You know, it's fun. It is. I love the feeling of being drunk, but I hate the feeling after.
Exactly. But like she said, you know, like we all crave like that first drink, that euphoria that comes with that, you know, you crave like what it's going to feel like having that drink and ordering that drink and getting that drink. The feeling that creates is gone within 20 minutes. So then you continue to drink, and once you've taken that first drink, it dehydrates you. So you're not drinking because you like drinking. You're drinking because it's the body's response to what you've just put in your body. You've just put a poison in your body that is telling your body that it's thirsty, so you drink more. You're not drinking more because you like the taste of the alcohol. Well, I don't know. I beg to differ on that. I do like a white wine, but
I love a cocktail.
You know, she really breaks it down to. It makes so much sense the way that she describes it, and it actually takes 10 days for alcohol to leave your body.
Really?
So yeah, I didn't know that. I had no idea.
That actually makes sense though. Because you think about I think about the big benders I'd have. Like I actually wouldn't actually feel properly better for like a week.
Yeah, that part of it. But also, you know, how you beat yourself up because you go, okay, I'm going to take 2 weeks off drinking, and you don't make it past a week. Or it's hardly surprising because you're going through withdrawal for that 10-day period. So how doesn't it? Yeah. So that's been quite eye-opening for me.
Well, I'm going to read that and then recommend it to the as an ex, you know, booze hound. Who still
I'm getting there.
Would love to drink it. You know, like I'd still, and I used to take heaps of drugs too. I'd love to go out and get some cocaine and just get high. Like I love to, you know, it's like that push the boundaries, escape. You know, it makes you feel good. But obviously, I wouldn't do it anymore. But you know, it doesn't mean I don't still want to do it. But I just don't want to be that person, and I don't want to wake up feeling like shit, and I don't want to have the come down. And you know, like it's just, I don't want to do it anymore. I think, and people,
I think when you know, to be able to get to a point like you have, to know that you feel better without it is that turning point for people. And I think it's hard for people to get to that point because up until this point, I didn't understand that, well, it takes 10 days for it to leave my body. So that's now giving me incentive to make sure I, you know, stay away from it longer than, you know, because I've just gone, okay, well, I'm training hard, I'm doing my nutrition, but every other, you know, week or whatever, I'll have a drink. I didn't realize how much impact it was having on my results.
Yeah.
Me thinking, oh, well, it's only like, you know, every, you know, once a week or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's perpetuating the cycle.
Yeah.
Which is feeding the addiction, which is in turn having the physical effects on my body. It's like it all, Do
you know what I reckon? You've got to, like for me, I had to go, like the longest period I went was 7 months because I was like, and I think once you fully break it and then you go back and you drink again and you're like, oh, I feel so shit. You're like, this is not worth it. It's just not worth it anymore.
Yeah.
But I'd not say I won't, because like when we were at the wedding, I had a couple of glasses of champagne at my friend's wedding, but I very rarely will, and it's sporadic, you know, like it might be once every 3 months. And I don't ever like normally go, oh, I feel like having a drink. Cause I'm just like, it's too, the fun of it is not worth the rest. Like I can't train and I can't, like I feel like shit.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
You know, but you got to go.
You've had the experience on the other side to know that, which is, you know, where then a lot of people then might not have had that experience yet. And so they're still in that cycle of not allowing themselves enough time to be able to get to that point to break the cycle.
Because I know you've committed to a shorter period of time. with me, but I think you should commit to 12 weeks, and you should do 12 weeks and fully commit to your training and nutrition. Then you'll turn around and go, Kitty, I don't want to, I don't want to drink.
But you know what? I think there's actually something in that, we said 12 weeks, but that to me just seems like, oh my God, it's too far away. That's too far away. Like how am I going to, there's like a fear of, oh my God, I don't know if I can do that. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Whereas then when you said to me,
2
okay,
weeks.
you're going to do 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I can do 2 weeks.
And then we'll reassess at the end of 2 weeks.
Exactly. So for me, that's kind of like a more achievable time frame. So, And I'm hoping that when you get to the 2 weeks, you'll go, oh yeah, good one. I'm feeling really good. And you'll go, let's do another 2 weeks. And then you'll be a month, and then we'll go 2 more weeks. So I know you can do it. I know you will. Thank you. You'll definitely get to 2 weeks. And then from there, I reckon it'll get easier. Because you'll see your body change too, and you'll be like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm feeling good. But you know what? Like, don't beat yourself up. Like, you've been drinking for 20 years or however long you've been drinking. It's like, it's a process. I think as long as you keep committing to doing it. And 30 years,
each time you get a little bit better and you last a little bit longer without alcohol, and you continue to keep trying, eventually you get there. Like me, it took me 4 years, I reckon, to get to here.
Yeah. It's not easy, and that's why I reckon that book is such an amazing read, because it's given me so much insight into the addiction part of it that I didn't realise. It's amazing.
Well, there you go, viewers. You've got some extra tips in this episode. Go and read that book if you're a drinker, because I think so many of us are. But now, Kat, for women that are watching this, if there's a few objections that we get, or concerns that women have when wanting to join the program, and you probably had all of these because they're pretty common. One was a time. So they're worried that they don't, that most of the women in our program are around, they're in their 40s, they've got kids, they work full time. They don't think they have time to do this program. What would you say to that?
You haven't got time not to, really. It's a matter of priorities, really. And yes, it is time consuming, but it's worth every moment of it. I wouldn't hesitate. Like, it's been life changing, just in the knowledge that I've gained and in how much better I feel. And I think in the mindset, my mindset's really beginning to change, and like it's an investment in self. And you're worth it.
And what about, some women are worried that they won't be able to do it online? Obviously we've got women all over the world in our program, and no one actually comes and physically touches us, except if they come to the events twice a year. If a woman's worried about doing it online and that she doesn't think she can do it, what would you say to that? What advice would you give her?
That's, I guess, what I've been so impressed about is the amount of support, like the resources and the support. There's always somebody to answer a question. I did wonder and did worry if I would stick to it, and if I would have the resources that I needed. But it's blown me away. Like, you guys are just amazing. Everyone's amazing, and it's been the most supportive community. And just in case if you have any questions, just ask, and it's there's always somebody there with an answer. So it's been amazing.
And the last one is money. So women, has it been worth the money that you invested?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I that was a concern for me, but I think if there comes a point where you've just got to prioritize, and health is just so important. It's just you can't really put a price on it.
And finally, if a woman was sitting on the fence and she was skeptical about doing the program, what advice would you give her?
What have you got to lose? There's only so much to gain. Like, it's try it, and if it doesn't, you've tried it, and if it doesn't work, then you've tried it. But I can't see that anybody would find themselves in that place.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just do it.
Well, thanks so much. Thank you. I know that you're busy and you're obviously at work, so I really appreciate you taking the time out. So if you're a woman and you're watching this and you have any sort of period issues and, hormonal issues, and I guess you've tried everything else and you want something that's sustainable, click on the link below and you can book in a free call with one of my coaches. There's no obligation to join. They'll just have a chat and see whether this program can actually help you get to where you want to be. So thanks again, Kat, and I will be chatting with you.
Pleasure.
You'll be messaging me at 2 weeks, and then we'll set the plan for the next 2 weeks. And you're doing your check-in sheet, aren't you, this week?
Totally am.
Yeah, good work.
All over it. No
more looking. Every week, I want to see it in there.
Yeah, I know you'll be checking.
That's right. I'll be asking the girls. I'll be like, "Is it a sheet? Is she doing a sheet? Is she not been drinking?"
Yes, Kitty. Whatever you say, Kitty.
Don't you just love me when you message me? I'm like I'm just so like straight to the point.
Yeah. No, but that's what. Yeah. No, that's what people need to hear. Just like get on with it. Just get on with it. Do it.
Do you know what though? Like, trust me, I've tried to still think piss every weekend and feel good and look good, and you can't. Like, there's no way around it. You can't get like, I only look like this now because I train consistently, don't drink anymore, eat consistently. I tried to do it and get pissed, and I would just not eat. Like, I would just starve myself, and I felt like shit. You know, you can't get around it.
It's not worth it.
You got to face the music. You got to at some point.
Totally. Like, life's too good. Life's too good to live it in a haze. Like, seriously, like what are we doing? Like,
totally.
Yeah. Live life.
And if I can do it,
yeah,
you know, anyone can do it. But anyway, I'll let you go so you can go back to work, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks,
bye. Bye.